Today is Tuesday, April 21st. Welcome to the daily update of the Kahnawake COVID-19 task force. Joining us today will be Lloyd Phillips and Lisa Westaway, but before we do that, we're going to go live to Ietsénhaienhs Tonya Perron, who will be reporting on a council decision made this afternoon. There was a duly convened council meeting. There's one on Monday, but there was some business that had to be taken care of today. That was done. And Tonya joins us. How are you, Tonya?
Good afternoon. I'm fine. And you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So council had to convene today. Just give us the reason for that.
All right. So we convened a special meeting today in order to pass a Mohawk Council resolution officially declaring a state of emergency in Kahnawake. This was a logical final step in the whole process of implementing the emergency preparedness law. And it was done after a lot of consideration was given to the fact that we don't know how much longer, this situation is going to last. We need to ensure that our jurisdiction is protected, that our community is protected, and that our people have all the opportunities, any available funding. So by declaring this state of emergency, it allows much easier access to that funding, as well as solidifies the legal basis for the decisions that are being made by the task force, as well as any of the organizations in the community. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that the community was aware is that in passing this Mohawk Council resolution, the MCK is provided with the authority to actually pass, repeal, or amend laws that are related to this emergency. Therefore, it essentially suspends the CDMP in relation to the creation of those laws. So for the moment, because the declaration was made, the council is exempted from the CDMP in making any of those laws that relate directly to the emergency situation that we're in.
So, when you talk about that, some people will probably be a little nervous about just hearing the term state of emergency, suspension of CDMP. Perhaps you can talk a little bit about that.
So nothing has changed. We're still at the same level of emergency, if you would want to term it that way, as we have been throughout the last couple of weeks. As I stated, this is just the final step in making sure that everything we're doing is being done in a way that's at least as close to 100% possible, of protecting our own jurisdiction and ensuring that we have access to all of the funding that I'm sure everybody's been aware has become available by the federal government for this relief. As well, like I said, it doesn't change anything. It's not that there's a higher level of emergency or anything. It's almost more or less a formality at the end of the day to do this, but it just ensures that everything is being done properly. As well, when I say that the CDMP is suspended, I don't mean it's suspended generally speaking. It's still, the CDMP still exists for passing of any other laws. It's just where there are emergency laws that have to be either created or amended. If a law has to be amended due to this emergency, then the MCK has the authority to do that by simple majority vote.
And of course, the CDMP, by its very nature, is a gathering of people to make decisions. So yes. Obviously, that's not going to be happening at this point. Is there anything else you need to add at this point, Tonya?
No, just want to say that everybody just keep on doing what you're doing. We'll get through this. We have everything, all the measures in place to protect ourselves, both in terms of the health of our community, as well as we're doing everything to protect ourselves financially and the economy of our community. And this last, as I said, step in the process is really to secure all of that. It nails it down. I guess that's the best way to put it. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kahnawake.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Take care. Ietsénhaienhs Tonya Perron of the Mohawk Council of Kahnawake. By the way, the press release with more details on this will be coming out shortly, and there will be more discussion on this tomorrow. Joining us now is the Commissioner of Public Safety, Lloyd Phillips, a man who will be impacted by the changes that have been made, though as Tonya said, not spectacularly because most of the work continues, but it may make things a little easier. But let's welcome once again our Commissioner, Lloyd Phillips. Lloyd.
Good afternoon, everybody. Too bad as we look outside right now, it's snowing. It doesn't seem to be a very spring-like day. So hopefully in the next couple of days we'll begin a little better weather. I was watching the news this morning, and out west, if you go Saskatchewan going west, it seems like they're in the 20s and mid-20s weather. So hopefully in a few days it's going to work its way this way, and we'll have some nice sunny days ahead of us and some warm temperatures, which I think will be good for everybody. I think a lot of people are starting to feel a little bit stir crazy at the moment. Being stuck at home, either for obviously for proper reasons, but being at home and because the weather is cold or rainy, or in this case it's April 21st and it's snowing. Hopefully, once the weather changes, people can get outside a little more. Get some air. I believe that fresh air is good for everybody. It's good for the soul. Good for everybody to feel that sense of normalcy a little bit. Even if sitting on your back deck and enjoying some of the sunshine, I think that would be good for everybody. So let's all hope Mother Nature agrees with us in the next little while. Just touching quickly regarding the recent changes that the council had enacted a formal state of emergency. Again, that's just the evolution and how things are progressing within the community. We had enacted on March 16th. It was a state of a public health emergency, and that was renewed. But now we're moving to the phase of a state of emergency for a lot of the reasons that Tonya had already has stated. But in terms of the task force, our work has started. Our work will remain. We'll keep vigilant and we'll keep moving forward and dealing with the issues as they progress. What this will help us to do is just to solidify some of maybe if there's some loose ends here and there that we need to work on to ensure that we get proper access to financing. If any issues on any legalities, that we're crystal clear on the way forward. So I certainly appreciate the support from Chief and Council that they gave to myself as the Commissioner, as well as to the whole task force. So we do appreciate that support. And we will continue to do the best we possibly can for the health and safety of our community. Now, this is also a reflection of as Arnold Lazar was on the radio this morning, he made reference to the fact that we do have an emergency preparedness law in the community, and it went through different versions over the years. And as we've seen in the past, few weeks, several weeks, obviously after this is over, we'll have to look at some additional modifications to that law to bring it up to where it needs to be. But as it exists now, it does serve the purpose on what we need to do. And it does create a path for us to follow. As I said before, there is no playbook for having a global pandemic that has no vaccine or no treatment available. But the principles which were laid, within the law and the processes of emergency management, if we have people working for that common goal, and utilizing our best knowledge and our best management practices and combining it all together from people from different sectors in the community, people who truly care on what's happening in the health of our community, is what been guiding us, and that's what's going to keep us going and keep us safe as we possibly can. So it's a combination of many efforts. Historically speaking, a lot of people who got involved in this, but also obviously as we are speaking here on the ground, we do have a good group of people who are looking at all sectors of the community. Now, with that said, as well, tomorrow we're going to be issuing another release from the task force, which is going to be a reminder to the community on all the directives that have been issued. This so you'll have a quick access to them. I know some of them were done almost a month ago or so, and it may be somewhere in the back of your mind. So we're gonna refresh that for everybody so that you'll have access to it. It's just a click away where you can see each directive, when it was issued, what it means, and it gives you a little more clarity in case you weren't 100% clear on what that was meant to do. As well as we're putting together a list of do's and don'ts Because again, people were wondering, because again, there's a lot of directives, there's a lot of information out there, and people have been calling us or emailing us and asking us, well, can I do this? Can I go visit my friends now? Or can I go to Chateauguay to go shopping? Questions like that are which we appreciate to get. But in order to try to give more information to the community, we're going to be putting out like a do's and don't list to the community. Again, a quick reference guide that everybody could look at, when they want to have some questions answered. For those two questions, people were asking, like today, am I allowed to go to Chateauguay to buy groceries? Certainly. And as I mentioned yesterday, if we're asking people to minimize their exposure outside the community, shop Kahnawake as much as possible. But if you have to go out to Chateauguay, for example, or anywhere else to do groceries or do banking or whatever you do outside, just coordinate your rounds and minimize your time outside the community again, and come back here, where we feel safest as quickly as possible. And as well as I know people have been wondering about, is it time yet for me to go visit my friends or my neighbors or my cousins or so on? The short answer at this point is still no. No, we're not at that point yet where we're prepared to relieve or modify those directives. So please, people, again, as we can't say it enough, physical distancing, and people who live within your home are the people who you're supposed to be associating with. Please, at this point in time, let's not mix those two different families together, because the more we mix together, the more we gather, the higher the chances of if we have one person in that household who has contracted the virus, it could spread to other people very easily. And as I mentioned yesterday, one person could lead to 2, could lead to 4, 6, and it multiplies very fast. We've been keeping our numbers very, very low in the community. We're doing an excellent job as a community, and we certainly want to keep it that way. So these little things is what's going to get us through this. Along the same note, we were looking at some information earlier this afternoon, and out of all the new positive cases that are being diagnosed throughout the province of Quebec, 40% of them are between the ages of 20 and 49. So nearly half of all people who tested positive are between the ages of 20 and 49. And as we all know, that's the age group that who, if they contract it, chances are, you will, you may have a rough time, but chances are you will recover. Not 100%, no guarantees there. We've seen a physician in the Montérégie region just last week pass away, who was 44 years old. But generally speaking, right, these people are going to recover and get better. But the part that you have to also understand is because these people may show very little symptoms, or moderate symptoms, or mild symptoms, and that's the age group between 20 and 49. So if you don't take it seriously and you're not doing your social distances, or you're mixing with other family members, you may be carrying that virus to a loved one who is more vulnerable, who maybe have other health conditions that predispose them to get really ill or really sick. Or worst case scenario, you're somebody who's over 70, and you're going to visit them thinking that you feel fine. But keep in mind, 40% of all the people who are tested positive recently are between the ages of 20 and 49 years old. So, that's the age group that has the highest potential of spreading the virus, unknowingly. So the only way to curb that is to ensure that we maintain what we've been saying time and time again. Like I said yesterday, and I'll keep saying it, there is that light at the end of the tunnel, people. Let's keep our foot on that gas. I believe that we're at that peak, and how long we're at that peak, we'll have to see. We could stay there for a while. Those numbers will start stabilizing. They could last days, it could last a week. We're not 100% sure. Nobody really is. These are things that epidemiologists and mathematicians and everybody's trying to figure out exactly, where exactly that peak is and how exactly we're going to stay, how long we're going to stay there. These are questions that only time will tell. And soon as we feel that we're on the other side of that peak, and then we'll take it on the next phase of what we have to do. But keep in mind, if we let off the gas too soon, even though you start seeing numbers going down a little bit, if you let off those measures, and then those numbers could peak right back up. And as I said yesterday again, and it's worth repeating, because all the hard work we had done for the past 5 or 6 weeks, we certainly don't want to throw that out the window because we let off our foot off the gas a couple of weeks early. So I know it's been hard. I know it's been tough. We're fighting a virus that's an invisible enemy. We're fighting a psychological battle. We're fighting a social battle. We're all feeling we're all feeling the pressure. You know, the task force, I know we're doing our work. No, we're feeling the pressure. No, we're getting tired as well. And you know, believe me, there's nobody here that wants to see this finished and end quicker than the task force, because the amount of energy and time that we're putting in here, we'll do what we have to do as long as we have to do it. But believe me, we want to end it as soon as we possibly can. So with that, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lloyd. And just one of the things I wanted to mention about activities, we've been talking about this for the past few days, the spring cleanup, the challenge for Kahnawake Hirono, that has been extended to Sunday. And remember, there's some good prizes. I think it's $1,300 worth of prizes. All you have to do is pick a little area and clean up. Make sure it's somebody within your household that is helping you out. Take a picture of the area that you're planning to clean up and take a before and after. And in the meantime, you can talk to the Waste Management Department at 632-4321. You can tell them where you're going to be doing it, and it'll be as simple as that. You're eligible for some nice prizes. It now goes until Sunday instead of this Friday. All right, joining us today, as she has for many of these episodes of our updates, is Lisa Westaway, the Executive Director at the Kahnawake Memorial Hospital Center. Lisa.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to talk about the testing site a little bit today. It's a common theme that we've spoken about. Just to let you know, we tested only 6 people today. So the numbers, or actually 5, I believe, 6 yesterday. So the numbers are quite low. As we've mentioned, it could be that many people are having symptoms and are not coming to be tested, or it could be that we're not having people with symptoms in the community. So I'm going to be watching over these numbers over the next week or so, and then make a decision about whether we keep the testing site open or not. So I thought it would be important to let you know that information. Definitely, if you are having symptoms, we ask that you self-isolate. We ask that you come and get tested. But even if you choose to not come and get tested, we still ask you to stay alone in your room so that you're not spreading, potentially spreading the virus. So I'll be giving you more updates about that over the course of the next week. We will always maintain the ability to test our own inpatients, our home care patients, and our essential service workers who need to come back to work. But we'll make decisions as we move forward about whether we're going to continue to test the greater community members. We may stop that depending on the numbers that we're seeing. Again, and that's how Quebec has moved forward, and so we may look at doing the same thing depending on how things look in the next week. So we'll keep you posted on that. But again, I urge you to call and book an appointment for testing should you have symptoms. I wanted to give a little bit of information for KSCS, and I think that they'll probably be here next week to talk a little bit more about this. But often when we do our updates, we're well aware that sometimes the information we're providing could cause stress, could cause anxiety, and it's important that you have ways to deal with that. And KSCS is there to assist you in those moments. So we wanted to talk about the fact that counselors are currently available Monday to Thursday from 5 to 8 in the evening, and they can be contacted by dialing 514-235-9607. After hours, on weekends or holidays, communities can continue to contact the peacekeepers and make a request to speak with the AHRS. The role of the mental health counselor is really to provide support and assistance to help you process feelings, thoughts, fears, anxiety. If more of an intensive intervention is needed, then they'll make sure that you get to meet with the appropriate person at the appropriate time. And there are always counselors who are available and response workers who are available after hours. So please don't be shy to call should you feel the need to. There is a KSCS newsletter that goes out. I think that's available on the website. And there's a new Facebook page that will be released shortly that you will have where you can access important resources and information. So I wanted to, on the weekend I was watching, and many people I think watched the concert that happened, which really was to talk about COVID-19 and was to pay tribute to COVID-19. And there was, we're talking about anxiety and fear, and one thing that really stood out in my mind when I was watching that was a quote that was, I don't remember who, which actor or singer spoke about it, but they referred to a Nelson Mandela quote that really made me think of our community, and it's really about courage. So I'm going to read it to you. So again, it's Nelson Mandela who spoke this, not me. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Why does this speak to me, and why does that make me think of our community? I feel that I see exemplary displays of courage on a day-to-day basis. And we know that we all have fear. We all, even us who are here speaking to you on a day-to-day basis, those who are working, those who are practicing the measures, those who are not, we all feel these fears, and we all respond to them differently. But yet we are all displaying immense courage in our day-to-day lives right now. And I just wanted to highlight it, that it's recognized and that we're really doing a good job. And I urge you to keep up that courage. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Before we go, just wanted to pay a little tribute to some of the people I work with every day. And I know I'm here in front of the camera, and you know, you people see me at your home or wherever. But I just wanted to talk about Wenadio Daibo, Jean Daibo, Justice Polson Lahash. Sometimes we've had Skylar Taylor in here, and Dega Lazar on occasion. But these guys also come in every day on the weekends. You don't see them, but they're here with us, helping you bring this information that hopefully is helping you during these very difficult and challenging times. But as we all say, we stick together, we'll do okay. So with that, we'd like to say thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll join us tomorrow for another COVID-19 daily update. So Kahnawake, Onigewai.